He had so many issues over the years with alcohol and with pills and stuff. And he, I was in the dressing room when they carted him out and took him straight to rehab in Minneapolis when he fell aslep. Right. Finally, he had gotten over that, at least as far as I knew. I mean, I don't know.
He was. Oh, yeah.
It seemed like he was pretty legit clean and sober.
4 years sober, bro.
4 years sober.
When he died, yeah.
And then he passed away from enlarged heart.
Yeah, enlarged heart failure at 38 years old.
Do you think that's because of all the drugs that caught up to him?
Absolutely. They say, because of you've seen it time and time again. In this business, the worst drugs, and I don't care what they are, it's not, steroids, it's not alcohol, it's not cocaine, it's not marijuana. The worst things are the pills. Mm-hmm. You've seen everybody that we know that have died has been from those pills.
That's true, yeah.
And it's a quick release. We're hurt. It's easy for us to it's easy to us to justify using that because if anybody needs them, we need them. We need a Vicodin. We need this. But then it's so easy to start abusing that stuff, and that's where that was Eddie's vice. So he fought every day to stay off those. He really did. But they say with Vicodins and somas and all that stuff was that it gives a lot of scar tissue on your heart. Mm. Because you abuse them so much, and we've seen it with Umaga and so many different people who died from heart failure and heart troubles, and because of those pills, So that's kind of what happened to him, and the story really, he and I were, we were flying to Minneapolis. We were all home. This is the first day of the tour, and we were going to Europe.
Was it a pay-per-view in Minneapolis?
It was a dual show, like a SmackDown and Raw.
Okay, so you're going to Europe.
Yeah, doing both shows in Minneapolis, and then we're going to go straight to Europe. So everybody was there. So I get in the plane. Eddie had already moved to Phoenix. Mm-hmm. So I get on the plane, and I'm in coach, and he's in first class. Well, I get on and I'm in coach. The door's getting ready to close, and I see Eddie. He was always the last one. He was on Mexican time always. And I say that
shoulders slumped.
Yeah, and I say that with all due respect.
Of course.
Everybody knows Mexican time. What Mexican time is. Yeah. So he runs on the plane, and right before the doors closed, and he gets on, and I go, "Hey," and he goes, "Hey, what's up, man? I didn't know you were going to be on this plane." So he gives up his first class seat and comes back with me. So we hung out and stayed together. It was like just a treat, it really was to sit next to each other. And we were on different shows at the time, so we didn't see each other all that much.
Right.
So we sat next to each other and we were watching a movie, and he looks at me and he's talking and stuff, and he kind of nods off as he's talking to me. I say, "Oh man, he's really tired, And then he kind of wakes up and like, "Oh, hey," and kind of goes, we went and watching a movie together, and we get to Minneapolis. I didn't think anything of it. We get to Minneapolis, and we go to check in at one of the Marriott.
Yeah, the one by the airport.
Right by the Target Center. No, the one by the Target Center.
Oh, okay.
That everybody was staying at. So we go there, and, and I was like, "Hey, man, we used to room together, all the time." And we decided, hey, we'll just get our own rooms. Okay, no problem. So we're checking in, and as we're there, we see Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes comes up to us, and he's not Michael Hayes anymore. He's Freebird. He's the Freebird. He's been drinking, hanging out.
He's the beer wolf.
Yeah. And he kind of mad dogs Eddie. And I didn't really notice it, but Eddie,
what do you mean mad dog?
Mad dogs. He kind of stared him down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stared him down, but I didn't really notice it, and Eddie didn't. Eddie, after Michael leaves, goes back to the bar. Eddie stops and looks at me and goes, "Did you see what that mofo did?" So what do you mean? Yeah, he's staring at me. I'm like staring at you? Like, he's like, yeah. Eddie's pissed. And I said, all right, what do you want to do? You want to go beat him up? Because we were just, if he's going to get in a fight, I'm going to get in a fight, and vice versa. Right. So he's like, nah, we'll give him a pass. I said, okay. So we literally gave him a pass. So the night before Eddie died, really, Michael Hayes didn't know how close he was to getting beat up. Literally, we were going to go in there and drag him out and beat him up. So we said, okay, hey, man, well, let's why don't we go work out in the morning? And just as we got there, we see Chris Benoit. And Benoit goes, hey, man, what's up, guys? Hey, we're going to bed, but we're going to train 8 a.m. Let's meet down for breakfast, 8 a.m. We'll go train before the show. We always did. And then we're going to go to Target Center. Okay, great, no problem. So I go to my room. Eddie goes to his room. Well, then I get a call from Eddie on my cell phone. He says, hey, man, can I talk to you? And I say, yeah, what's going on, man? And he goes, I just really I got to talk to you. I said, okay, hold on. Let me run downstairs real quick. Let me take care of some stuff downstairs. I don't know if I was, getting an extra key or whatever I was doing. So I went downstairs, and then I call Eddie to his room, 5-8 minutes later. And I go, hey, man, you want to talk? And he goes, nah, I'm okay. I'm cool. And I said, are you sure? Let's talk. And he goes, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm okay. I'm bro. I'm here. He's like, no, I'm good. I said, all right, man. Well, I'll see you in the morning. We'll go work out. Okay, cool, no problem. I think I had a beer. Then went to bed. I was gonna wake up and go work out. At 7 a.m., I got a call from one of the security guards in the hotel. He says, Chavo, yeah, hey, this is security in the hotel. I'm like, all right. Why are you calling me? He goes, well, your uncle is I don't know how he knew we were there, or I was there. He wasn't there that night. I guess the word got around, whatever. And he goes, your uncle's passed out. I said, passed out? He goes, yeah, he's passed out in the bathroom. And I'm thinking, the bathroom? And we had just talked on the plane that Eddie was sober for 4 years. Mm-hmm. So I was like, passed out? Did he have a relapse? Oh, no. Come on. Really?
But also, how would the guy know it's 7 in the morning?
I was like, how? So he's passed out in the bathroom. I'm thinking he's passed out in the bathroom, in the
lobby.
In the lobby or something like that. So I go, okay, I'll be right down. And the security guard goes, no, I'll come to your room. So he comes up to my room, and he comes and gets me. I'm still half out of it, and we got in late the night before. So I'm coming down, and he takes me to Eddie's room. I said, what do you mean his room? So I guess he explained to me that Eddie had missed a couple wake-up calls.
Yeah.
So they went to knock on his door, and the latch was on his door. Mm-hmm. Well, so whenever that happens, they're knocking, no answer. They cut the latch off. Mm. So as I open up, the latch is already cut off, and I walk in, and I see Eddie face down in the bathroom. Mm. He's face down. I mean, just like, and I looked at him, kind of like, still thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm still coming to my senses. And I'd seen Eddie passed out from, drinking or pills or whatever it was, 20 times in my life.
Right.
But of course, this was years and years before. Mm-hmm. So when I looked at him, I'm like, anybody else, I mean, if I would have seen, just any random person, I'd be like, you're passed out, what the heck? Let me get him up. So I see Eddie's down. I'm like, okay, let me assess the situation. What's going on? So I put my hand by his nose, and there's no breath, but I hear a couple gurgling noises. And then I go, this isn't right. I'm feeling him. He's warm. He's warm. He's not like, I'm like, okay, this isn't right. Let's pull him out. So I talked to the security guard, and we pulled him out and turned him around. And so as soon as I see his face, when we turn around, I said, like, I start panicking. Okay, this really isn't right. Call 911 now. And so they're calling, 911, and we're giving them, mouth to mouth CPR, and I'm freaking out. I'm yelling at him, going, Eddie, stay with me. Come on, Eddie, come on. Basically,
do you think he was still alive?
He was still alive because he was warm.
Wow.
And then I saw him go from warm to cold. He died right there.
Wow.
Right there. And they called 911. The ambulance came, and they were giving him CPR and everything their way, and they're just like, he's gone. And I was like, what if I would have got here, an hour before? And usually we room together. Mm-hmm. We didn't room together. And they're like, no. They said he had, something already. He would have been gone no matter what. I'm like what? So now I'm sitting here with my brother dying basically in my arms, going. I was in shock. I was like in shock, and then I had to go back to my room and call people. I'm like, well, I didn't know who to call.
Who did you call?
I'm like, who do I call? I think I called home. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. So I called Fit Finley. Like,
why Fit and not Dean or Chris?
Well, I didn't want to wake up Chris. Fit was an agent.
Yeah.
So I wanted him to get the word to, what's going on to Vince and everybody. I don't have Vince's cell phone, I'm not like you. I wasn't the champ. So he goes around and makes, I guess some calls, and all of a sudden I'm in my hotel room just sitting on the bed like what the heck just happened? Mm-hmm. And then I get a call from Chris. Benoit goes, hey, where are you? I'm downstairs. We're supposed to meet at 8 o'clock to go work out and eat breakfast. And I'm like, Chris, sit down. Are you sitting down? He goes, yeah. So I told Chris, and Chris was like, I never heard somebody wail like that, like this deep moan, like, oh, like I just, punched him in the stomach and stole his soul. Mm. That's what it felt like, and I was like, and he was yelling and screaming, and it's just deep. Whoa, no. So, and then from there, I had to go back to the room, and then Vince McMahon and Triple H, Shawn Michaels came over, and Vince is asking, what do I do? Do we go on with this show? And I was like, absolutely, you go on with this show. You don't cancel the show. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, you go on with the show. I go, that's what Eddie would have wanted to do. He wouldn't want everybody here. And Eddie knew, we were always taught that you always have to, you know, give the people their money's worth, no matter what. They're there to see you in this, you know, this economy. They don't have a lot of money, and they're choosing to spend it on you. It's your obligation to give them their money's worth. Yeah. It really, really is. So I looked at Vince. I said, yeah, if you cancel the show, then he'd be pissed. That's not what he wanted. So they went ahead and made a tribute show to Eddie, you know, and I mean, completely rewritten, you know, totally different. But then, you know, that we had to deal with all that stuff and go to.
Did you have to go to Europe, or were you able to?
No,
do the funeral? I don't remember.
So I went. Yeah. You know, when we did that show, they said, "Of course, Chavo, we don't. You can go home." I said, "No, I want to wrestle." I was able to wrestle JBL, you know, and just
another good friend of Eddie.
Yeah, and that was just a great moment.